Hey, what is up guys? It's Jack here and welcome back to another Jurassic World Evolution 2 video. So in this one we are returning to Saint-Hubert and we are going to be finishing our Rebirth island. Now we will be saving some of this for the stream on Saturday where we kind of fix a few things that I have issues with, but for the time being we are actually going to be working on some of the smaller parts that were in the movie, aka kind of like I guess they are main parts. We'll be working on the Central Valley as well as the river from those, I guess, 2-3 scenes that they were in. So, you know, they were main objectives, but they were also kind of short-lived within the movie. But let's get into the video. I hope you guys will enjoy this. Don't forget to leave a like, don't forget to subscribe, and hopefully this goes well. Hopefully I know what I'm doing in this one. There's going to be some changes on this map, but we'll talk about them during the video. Alright, so for the longest time I had no idea how I was going to meet the Quetzal cave. So what I have planned now actually is, instead of doing it here like I was going to do, I watched the movie since it came out on digital. I've watched it probably like 4 times since then. But I watched the movie since it came out on digital, and I will be actually making the Quetzal cave probably back here. Now, the closer I get to this facility, the more it lags, but I will probably be making it back here because I didn't know from the first time watching that the cave itself, I think I can actually show pictures now, so this is gonna be cool. The cave itself has a mountain, or like a valley. I don't know the geographical terms for this, but it has the valley in the middle, but it's like a circle. So Loomis says basically that he saw, you know, these the quetzals flying around the entrance of the cave, and he saw the cave structure, so, or the temple structure. And so that makes me wonder, like, okay, so where are they? Right? Because there's no gap like how there would have been right here. So it's either I close it off here, which wouldn't make sense in my eyes for what I was going to do anyways, because the way I was going to do this, I can also talk about this now since it's been over a month, is the flow of the movie compared to this map. So obviously we have our boat here from when they crashed, right? And then a little bit to the left we have where the family goes. So they're both in this general location, but they choose to go in their separate directions later on. So again, I don't know the actual map. I'm not making the map from the picture that was released a few weeks ago, where everyone was saying it was Site C now. But I'll be continuing with the map that I was working off of after my second redesign on it. But I'll be doing that other map at some point. I probably honestly when Evolution 3 comes out. But they continue on over here, right? The family chooses to go to the left, while the research team goes to the Central Valley, which is going to be right here. So our family goes over here. They're going to be following the pipelines, which I'm going to be doing on stream as well. So these small little decorations that'll be around are going to be done on stream, like the pipes done on stream. You guys are going to leave some like suggestions or, you know, requests that I do for this to make it look even better, and I'll follow those. But the family will be going right here, and we'll be making the entrance for a river, like river scene right here as well. You can kind of see that it removed a little bit. But I had to figure out the theatrics of all that, right? So the family would be going down here. All right, notice this little fork in the river right here, and our research team will be going out this way, or our collection team, or whatever we want to call them. They'll be going out this way, get our Titanosaur, get our Quetzal, and then they'll be coming back around this way, all the way to this fork in the road, in the river, fork in the river. So either way they get here, right? Both parties. which will explain why they see each other's footprints and stuff. But we're not going to take into consideration that they're both technically entering in the same area. I don't understand how that was written, but I'm not gonna dig deep into it. I've learned not to dig deep into Jurassic films a long time ago. But changing where the quetzals are going to be, I think that they would either end up being over here in this like area that I was going to put something in, but I didn't know how to put something in, or I will be redesigning this area right here, removing this mountain a little bit, and basically, actually no, I can probably put this off over here. The only issue with that is that in the Titanosaur scene, you can see them going out to like the light all the way over there. So I don't know how the cinematography is going to be based off of this, but I will be trying to either make the Quetzal cave in an enclosed area over here or along right here. I just know that there's like 50 waterfalls in that area, and it's a good thing that we have the waterfall on. All right, so let's actually get started. So the Titanosaurs, right? It's a lot of long grass, and if you guys know something about the long grass that I have for the mod, it lags the hell out of the game. So I'm thinking maybe I don't put the grass in until very later. I don't want to have to be dealing with this, and I probably will be frustrated at the end of this if I had to do anything with the long grass. So I'll be working on the Quetzal area first then. Okay. So as long as we have a strong, solid view of everything, we should be okay. Now our research team does come from over here, so we should take into consideration that one, this will be our swamp area that they go through, and two, they're going to be going over here, and they're going to be seeing our Titanosaurs here. Another issue that I had was that this river was a little bit too small. So honestly, I might just make it not even here. I don't know. It would make sense for us to do the Quetzal cave here. I haven't really planned this, obviously. It would make sense for us to do the Quetzal cave here, but they're over here, and then I don't know how he would see it. It would make sense for him to see it here. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to take this mountain, and I will be extending it all the way through. All right, so we're going to get to this point, and we'll extend it all the way through. Right now, what we want to look at is this. We want to take this, I'm going to extend this a little bit more. We're going to work on all of this later, but we just kind of want to get the general shape of what we want to do. So I will be making all of this. I will want to remove the water as well, actually. The water is going to be annoying to deal with. Okay. I will be removing all of this. Okay. Okay, now this will go all the way around. And we're gonna kind of isolate this coved area a little bit. Now we're gonna flatten the rest of this, kind of ruin what we just made, but it's okay. All right, now for scale, I didn't really think that, I think this is okay for scale. I'm not really looking at the picture right now, but I think this should be for scale. I'll look at the picture in a second, because we have to know that our humans are actually very tiny. Okay. Our quetzal's cave is going to be ending up right here, which would kind of make a little bit of sense, but again, it kind of won't. Now for this area right here, we're gonna cut this off. Okay. We're just gonna give a little bit more room for the Titanosaurs. Okay. And we're gonna want to get rid of these trees that are on the side so we can paint it with our rock. Hopefully in Evolution 3 we will be getting like a Rebirth island. The Rebirth island in the as a map. Even if it's just a sandbox map. You know, we don't have to connect it to anything. Hopefully we get that. Because getting those textures of the rocks and the different trees, same thing with Jurassic Park Europe. I want to be able to make that in the actual island that it's supposed to be at. I did also notice that a lot of these tops of the mountains should be dirt, but we don't have the actual dirt. So I kind of screwed myself there. But we will be making an even better Saint-Hubert on Evolution 3 whenever that comes out. I guess whenever that comes out, we know when it's gonna come out. Okay. I'm going to be placing down trees all along here. Gonna start small and then we're gonna work our way up. We just want to create a tree line to kind of hide the base of the mountain to make it look a little bit less intimidating on the edges, because you don't like seeing the bases of the mountains at all for most of the time. Now a lot of these trees are going to be kind of weird as well. They're going to hide our mountain, like our mountain textures, and it's going to apply some weird green texture. Okay. We also have to do some cleanup on this side of the mountain for our rivers and all that stuff. Let's take this, put this on the back side. Just paint a little bit with this lighter rock. Okay. And then we're going to want to get rid of all of this right now. And then I'm going to take a look at the picture and see how this looks. This entire level is going to be clear. I'm not going to remove the bottom floor of it, but this entire river is going to be clear. Let's actually do it. Let's actually do it because we're going to have to build the water area where Loomis lands. Unrealistically. Okay. So this entire area, let's do this entire area too as well, I guess. We're just cleaning up all the trees, I guess. Okay. Great. Now let's take our smaller brush again and just put it alongside here. Okay. It's okay if you guys can't go through these, like if you guys visually can't go through these. Our goal is not to make just a path, it's just make the landmarks, you know. Landmarks are important for builds because it's what you're making. It's, you know, the whole point of this. I'm not going to try to make this like that we can walk through it. Unfortunately, the game doesn't allow you to walk through forests, or I guess they do allow you to walk through forests. But I mean, like, they don't allow you to drive through forests and stuff. And I know a lot of people are probably going to want to get into a vehicle and actually just take a tour of this place. I don't know if that's going to be possible. Again, I'm just doing this from a top-down point of view, because that's how I'm building it. Okay. So we have our mountain area. We'll take a look at the picture. I guess I'll open the movie. I already have the movie, so I'm gonna open it. I'm gonna open the movie and I'll see how this looks. Oh yeah, nah, you guys are all crazy if you guys expect me to make this thing and oh god, this is gonna be torture for me. Okay. So unfortunately, we don't have a way to scale our waterfalls. So this is gonna be interesting. It really is something because no, yeah, this really is something. This is really not as big as I thought it was going to be. Let's take a look at our waterfalls real quick. Yeah, do you guys see how big this waterfall is? Oh, let me turn it the right way. Right, we have the smaller ones, which might actually work. Never mind, I'm just complaining for no reason. Never mind, we're all good. We're all good here. Only issue is, yikes. Again, it's here. I'll send a picture. I'll put a picture of the screen of what we have to do and how we're gonna probably mess it up. So again, I can't wait for Evolution 3 because this is, I usually the way I do my videos for remakes, guys, is the first one is always usually bad. So I apologize to you guys for that. This one is going to be remotely, like, it's not going to be remotely like as good as the one on Evolution 3 is going to end up being. That's just because I learn over time where I messed up, and you guys leave comments and yell at me and all that stuff. So at the end, it works out. So I apologize. Yep. So we want to bring this out a little bit more, but we also want to bring it up. Okay. So we're gonna have this cliff reach there, but we're gonna have this slope up. Okay. And then we're gonna take our tropical trees, bring them all the way up to here. We're gonna try not to overhang the trees like how this is happening right here. Because overhanging the bushes just kind of makes it look ugly. But it's kind of impossible not to overhang the bushes, because it's just the random variations that they add when you place down certain items in the game. You just kind of have to work around it. Okay. Again, this area all up here doesn't have to be perfect. It's not like anyone's going to be stepping on this, right? It's just there to be there. It's not supposed to be perfect. And I'm kind of realizing that over time when I'm making builds. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna not get rid of that. I'm just gonna put a waterfall probably in it. All right. So there is a river that we'll be going through here. Let's just say river goes here. Right. Well, it's a waterfall all the way around. So I mean, I guess the river will go all the way through. Out around this way. Right. And again, this let's actually not have this go here. Oh, who says it actually has to be a river though? Hold on. No one's saying this has to be a river. You know? So let's actually remove this entire river. It's probably for the best anyways, because there's not a lot of space to go off of over here. So this river, let's just have it end over here, but let's also be careful and add it here. I guess we don't have to connect the two, huh? Connecting the two will make it weird when we're trying to get those scenes from the movie, because the Titanosaurs are going to end up probably walking this way out of all the places that they're going. Because when they overlook here, right, hiding behind the mountain or the hill, and it's like, oh my god, wow, crazy, right? And then they end up walking the other way, which would end up being this way. Even though walking this way would make even more sense, but we're not going to talk about that because it's a entirely different story. So Yeah, let's just have the water end here. Again, we don't have to make this anything special. The only thing I do want to make special is where Loomis lands. So let's actually do this. I'm gonna take some of our temperate rocks. And this is where he's gonna be landing. Okay. Now again, there's like dirt all around the like sides of this. But again, I can't do dirt, so I'm just gonna do rock and mix it in with our dirt. Okay. So that's gonna be our main little area where he comes out. And now the rest of this is going to be rock. We're gonna bring the rock all the way down. And then we'll make our rest of this little valley area just be flooded with trees. I'm not gonna do the little I guess I can. Hold on. Let's actually take all of this back. Sorry guys. I'm getting comments on some of my builds saying you keep deleting everything that you go through. Yeah, I know. I'm not a very smart individual that knows what I'm doing. Okay. So we want to take some of our rocks. Now we want to take our rocks. We're gonna take tropical rocks. This is in the rock section. Right, we're gonna take our tropical rocks and we're gonna try to make some little mountains. So let's take our large ones. It's gonna be 3, 4. Let's do 5 here. 1, 2, 3. Maybe here. Do another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Let's do 1, 2, 3 here. All right. We're gonna go into our advanced movement tool, right? Go into the advanced mode. And then we're gonna try to make these little hills that are in the rocky like cliffs in the middle over here. Okay. So let's try to do this. It's been a while since I've worked with this. So give me a second as I struggle a lot with this. Okay, we want to bring this up now. Okay, copy that, paste it there. More. Down actually. Okay, copy that, paste you there, bring you up. I'm trying not to make this look like an Easter Island head. Kind of impossible not to do that, so instead I'm gonna bring this one here and put it there. And then for this one, I'm gonna bring this one up here. And I'm gonna make this smaller than it actually is, just so we don't have any issues. Okay, this is what it's gonna look like. It looks like something. Okay, hold on, give me a second. Not in decorations. Rocks are not in decorations. It's an environment for some reason. Okay, we're gonna place another one and another one and okay, perfect. Cool. Like this. Bring it up. Okay. This one. Cool. This one's gonna go behind it. Okay. All right, looks better. Now for this one, we are going to be doing a smaller one of these. Don't have to really put that much work into this. We're just gonna randomly put these. Again, I said this in my BioSyn one when I was making the T-Rex. If you guys don't like how I don't explain like the rotations or whatever that I'm doing, it's because I generally don't know. I'm just doing everything at random. Most of the stuff that I do is completely at random. So you guys are honestly seeing my brain work in like real time. Except for when I have a map, you guys I plan it and like what I'm gonna do, like the Minecraft videos and some of this other stuff. Okay, bring this down. That's gonna be a good smaller one. All right, then we have room for one more. Let's bring this one here. Elevate it a little bit. All right, cool. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting some bushes in here, not some trees, some bushes, because the trees are going to overcloud this and we kind of want to show this. So we're going to be going into our scenery items and we're going to look for some temperate bushes. Shrubs. No. I think this is just a grass. Maybe some tree hats actually. I'm actually going to start placing this around everywhere. Where I'm going to put the waterfalls. Okay. I'm gonna put some more over here. Notice that I'm hiding some of our bushes with our rocks. It's okay to not put all the entire like item out. And it's also okay to over like extend an item. Okay, so he's gonna fall right here. Okay. Okay. Take a look. Where are our tree hats at? I'm assuming they're not down here. That's also not what I'm looking for. Here we go. See if we could find some decent like bushes that we could use. Now the oak tree hat might work. I wonder if we have like a different tree hat for our. Here we go. Right. Oh, cool. This one actually will work. Kind of hide it, kind of have that illusion that it looks a lot smaller than it is. Right? And then we're gonna want to take one more, place it in the middle, elevate it just a little bit. Okay. Cool. Right, we could also take this one and make somewhat of a pathway. Into the tree. Okay. Cool. Now, the next thing we need to do is add our waterfalls so we know what we have to also put. Okay, we're gonna get our waterfalls. We're gonna be using this one. Now, it's weird because I can't actually see the entire thing. I have no idea where the waterfall actually is coming from. So what I will be doing is I'll be placing these things and moving them with our tool. So I'm going to be placing them all in the water. I'm going to count how many waterfalls I see on the screen right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now I might not use all of them, but hopefully we get to move some of them. Now this is going to be annoying because we can't actually move some of these waterfalls, or we're probably not going to be able to move some of these waterfalls. So I'm actually going to delete these. I don't want to have this many waterfalls where I just can't move them at all. And I don't want to have to struggle with selecting them. See, like I have all this stuff placed already. So selecting them is going to be kind of annoying. Especially if I have them already existing. That I'm just going to place them. Okay. And then move them however I. Okay. Also, the hitbox for it doesn't really make sense. Okay. Cool. So we want to use this side. And we're going to drag this one. This is going to be our first waterfall. We will be making it a smaller one. So it's going to be coming out of the mountain. I'm going to rotate it this direction. We're going to bring you down. Outward a little bit. Okay, like so. And then we're going to try to rotate it a little bit, make it that that's not the right way. Is it Y? Y. Okay. We want to bring it closer to the edge so it's not just. This is going to be a smaller one. Okay. So that's going to be it. That's going to be one of our waterfalls. I know it doesn't look good right now. What we are going to be doing is we will be taking some of our rocks. This is going to be a lot of waterfalls on rocks. That's what this episode is going to mostly be. Right, so we're going to take one big rock, a medium rock, another medium rock, and a couple of small rocks. Okay, now this is where our waterfall will be actually coming out of. Now we're going to want to make some weird little set piece that makes it look like the waterfall isn't just randomly pooping out of the side of the mountain. Okay, we might need to add a under piece for it, but for as of right now, this will work. We just want to make sure that we select all of our pieces. I think that should be all of them. Yep. Okay. We want to move this over here. Notice how I'm not really caring about the rotation or anything like how I was when I was building the facility. The facility was just going to take way too long because of that anyways. All like the separate pieces that need to be put down and all that stuff. Okay. 1 to 2, we can bring in a little bit more. Also rotate it. Again, it's the y-axis. I keep messing up this single part with the y-axis. Okay. Bring it out. Nice. I want to rotate this rock. Oh. This one right there. Or why can I see? Oh, there we go. I want to take this rock and I want to put it down over here. Okay, cool. So that's what we're gonna do for most of our sides. The temperate rock is gonna do light. I'd rather go with our tropical ones. Okay, that's what we will be doing, and we're gonna be doing it all alongside here with our 10 more waterfalls that we have to go. Okay, so now that we added our rocks to the waterfalls, it all looks like just piles of poop just on random rocks. That's honestly because of us not using a tropical map, but I'm gonna let this one pass. Now, what I want to do for these tops up here is I want to use trees, but unfortunately the trees look like this. So it's going to be really elevated compared to the rest of everything else, right? I don't want this to be overflowing with trees. I don't want this to be having some like bushes flying off the side like how it is here, right? I don't want that. I want it to look like it's an actual cliff with trees on the top. Now, the way that I'm going to end up doing this is the exact same way I did all this stuff down there. I'm going to be using the tree hats to kind of make it look like it's bushes. Now, I discovered these tree hats on my stream a couple of days ago or weeks ago. It's been a while since I've actually done a video. I had to take a little break for a bit, but I'm not gonna talk about that. We want to get that stuff going. Now, I made this elevated up here. I'm gonna fix this real quick before I actually move on. I made this elevated just to give it some purpose to not be the same like height the rest of the mountain, right? I was realizing that a lot of it was too I realized that the terrain was a little bit too like the same, right? And there wasn't that much variation in the height differences. So I'm making it that this little valley over here is going to have a bit of a elevation, and this up down here. It's not a big change, but it's just something I wanted to add, just so the back of this mountain doesn't look as massive as it was. Now I'm gonna remove some of our random tree stuff that's everywhere. Okay, now we're just going to add bushes pretty much everywhere. On the top of these things, on the flat parts, right? So all along here, up here, down here, up here, all that stuff. We're gonna do that. And then we are going to be putting our Mayan little monument here. All right, this one that we have. And before you guys comment saying, I know it wasn't the Mayan, like, no, I know. This is the building set from the I believe it was one of our tour mods. Where is it? It's up here. So the Gate of the Sun, and it's with all of our Mayan stuff. So we're gonna be using this as our little entrance for the cave. I'm not gonna build the actual cave. Maybe when Evolution 2 or Evolution 3 comes around. But as of right now, I'm not going to try to put a cave down that's not going to actually be able to be put down. That did not make any sense. I'll be putting rocks underneath this to make it look like it's elevated, and I'll be doing that after we refine the trees and stuff here. But I just wanted to give you guys a little heads up on that. Now we want our tree hats. I believe our tree hats are here. Here. Okay. Now I want to look for this one. These ones. Nice. Okay. Oh. And actually no, we could wait on that one. All right, so we want to put our tree hats. Now, a lot of these are probably going to have to be placed down a little bit more, but it's okay as of right now. We just want to place these down and we can organize them later. We just want to give this valley some like foliage that we can have, and we just want it to actually look like it's, you know, it actually has some type of trees or something, or some bushes, or just something, you know, something that's there. And we're gonna play with the perspective a bit, where the waterfall looks like it's going down into the trees from a distance, right? So that's what we're doing with that. We're not doing anything too big. Now, when it comes to the trees going off of here, we're going to probably want to put some bushes that are elevated compared to the rest of the stuff because you can see the rocks going through them. So we're gonna put these down, right? And then once we get down here, we're gonna put these ones down over here. Now you notice that I'm using the same one over and over again. This is just to like give a base layer of stuff, and then we're going to be adding more on after. Right now we just want to create like a kind of layer that goes over everything else. Okay, we can also apply this stuff here if we want to. I'm not going to put that much there. Okay, cool. So we have our initial layer of bushes that we have everywhere. I want to put some more. Okay. Now we're going to go on to a different type of one. Do we have the I want the trees from here. I want this tree. Is it that? Okay, well, I'm gonna put a little bit of these just to give it a little bit of variation. Again, you can't really see it. It all looks the same. It's the same texture. I want the temperature. I actually don't know what trees they are. Are they oak trees? I think they're oak trees, but the oak tree looks bad. This one looks better. They had to be like reduced, but they look better. Okay. I'm gonna be placing these. Okay. That's one. That's two. 3, 4, 5. I love how you can tell which ones are their oak trees when you select them. 6. And we want to bring them all down a little bit so you can't see the mound. Okay. And it just adds a little bit of differences in the textures around it. Okay. Nice. Now let's go up to the top of here and let's see if we could paint this a bit. Okay. We want to bring this one up. There we go. Nope, that went back down. We want to bring this one up. Same thing with this. Okay. These ones we want to bring up. I think that'll work from now on. Alright, cool. I think we do need one more waterfall like right here. So I'll be placing that one right now. Water is down. Let's place this one right here. Y. We'll have it come down from here. Rotate on the y-axis. There we go. Now let's take our puddles for our water. Go up this. Okay. We want to go for the smaller ones, right? Apply it there. Apply it there. 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 And I guess we can do it here as well. Okay. My only issue with these, I think I could probably select these ones over here. Only issue with these are they are a little bit too much. I'm going to drag them down just to get a little bit of a splash. Right, these ones over here, I don't know. That might work. Okay. One over here. That works. Already got that one. This one, I don't know if I'll be able to select. Oh, I did get it. Nice. Cool. Now, if we want to, we can take our rock tool. I think this is the darkest I can get. I think this is the darkest it gets, right? We can't make it any darker. No, we can't. Yeah, that sucks. Take some dirt, put it down right here. Okay. And then we want to add some palms. Just to make it look like there are some trees that are taller than the others. Okay, and then on these bigger sections over here, it's okay to be doing our forest, our larger forest, like in the center, not at the edges. We don't want to overflow the bushes. Okay. Doing a forest here is probably going to be annoying to deal with. But it looks good. All right, cool. So we have somewhat of a tree coverage over here going on, but we have our little area for our quetzals. Now I'm going to be placing some fish feeders down because annoying these guys, they need fish and they're going to get really annoyed if they don't have their fish. So I'm putting them all down right there. I don't think I want this one here. I think that's too close to the rest of the park, or rest of the area. Okay, cool. Okay, so I have one problem, and it is this rock right here. Everything else I'm okay with, right? But it's just that rock right there. I know we have waterfalls coming in from the sides. The only issue is since the texturing filter doesn't really seem to like actually be tropical, I don't really want to have these guys right here. So I'm gonna push these guys back right here. Try to grab on this waterfall. Let's see where the delete point is actually. Is that it? What is that? What is that? Why is that? That's a waterfall delete point. Which waterfall is that? What waterfall is this? Because it's not the center one. I don't. Is that the waterfall one? Hold on. This waterfall. Okay, hold on. Now, if I want to move this right here. Is it based off of that? It's weird because you need to find the hit marker for this. Can I not move this? What the hell? Okay. Never mind then. I guess I'm not moving this. Okay, let's bring this all back down then. I'm gonna do something else then if I can't move this. Oh, can I not grab this rock? What? It looks like a crab. Okay, so instead of doing that, what we're going to do is we're going to connect it to the top a little bit. We are going to be using our bushes like we did up there. Now we are going to be, is it, I keep forgetting where this stuff is. This one, no? It is this one, okay. There's a smaller one. Let's take this one. We're gonna put this one right here. Okay. And then we're gonna take the same ones and put them right here and right here. Right. Now we're gonna take them and we're gonna do them one by one. We're gonna bring it down and into the rock. Okay. Same thing with this one. Bring it down and into the rock. Okay, if this other rock is sticking out, we just don't want it to like be too, I just don't like the texture of the rock, the background of the mountain texture. Okay. And cool. I'm gonna bring this one up a little bit more actually. Okay, cool. Nice. All right, so this is gonna be our little like valley for them. I could definitely do better on this. Just give me 40 more watches of the movie. All right, we're gonna put you down here. All right, we're gonna take you. Oh right, we said we were gonna put rocks underneath this, weren't we? Let's actually do that then. That was my bad. Let's just delete the piece, honestly. Let's just delete the piece. There we go. Okay. Cool, let's grab the Temple of the Sun. What is it called? Gate of the Sun. Yes, let's grab the Gate of the Sun. Let's move it in line with this, and then let's put some rocks underneath it. Now, I was thinking about what other stuff I can be adding on to this, but there's not really that much that I can add on to this. I'm going to be putting some rocks underneath it. I'll be using our smaller rocks because this is a smaller thing. And because we kind of want to keep it flattened because it's supposed to also be a cliff. Okay, so we're just gonna do this a couple times. Okay. Alright, cool. Nice. Now we have to select every single one individually. I wish there was like a drag feature in this mod so you could just drag and select them all, but I'm pretty sure that is because of the game mechanics itself not allowing it to do it and not the mod. That's okay. Got this. Okay, I think it's okay if we leave some of them here by accident. Major items for this is the gate itself and the rocks that are underneath it. Specifically those ones. Okay, you can see that we missed some of them. Okay. And that's how I end up picking them up, by the way. I bring up the whole entire thing. And then I right click, let it go back down. and try to pick it up again in that exact same spot. Boom, we got it. So let's bring it all over here. Okay, so we want him to fall. So I think right here is going to be spot, because right here we have him falling into right here. So that makes the most sense to me. Okay. Now that we have those, we're gonna grab a couple of these rocks and we're gonna bring them down so it just doesn't look like this whole thing is floating. Okay. We're gonna take all of these in front of it. Drag them down. I will say something. I actually think that there is something else that I could be putting on here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Yeah, because this looks hideous. This looks hideous. Hold on. I think there's a better building that I can be using for this. Instead of using the rocks, we could hold it up with the ends of this. I think I might go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna actually remove all of this. Okay, just like that. And we're gonna go back over here. And we're gonna place this. Now, place this one. Okay. Place this one. We're gonna bring this to the top. Or let's bring it in between these two, actually. Okay. And then from here, what we want to do is we want to grab this one. And we want to grab this one, bring it up. Right. Then we want to place down more of these larger ones, right? So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to copy the location of this one, paste it, move it to the left and to the right. Okay. Copy, paste, move this one to the right. Okay. Copy this one, paste this one, copy this one, paste this one, copy this one, and paste this one. Then we want to select all three of them. Okay. And then bring them down. All right. Let's actually rotate them. Okay, if this isn't a perfect angle, it's okay. We're just gonna bring them back up. And then we'll fix them here. Okay. So we want them to be in line with the other floors. So are they? Is that even? I don't see any issues with it. Okay. Next thing we want to do is we want to select all three of these as well as their gate. Okay, make sure everything is selected. And then we want to move the entire item. We're going to move this entire item back to where we were. Hopefully this looks a little bit better. It's just the only thing we want with this is the pillars to make it look like it's hovering somewhere, right? Or not hovering, flying, floating, whatever you want to call it. Okay, we don't really want to have our white parts of it out. So if we could hide those, that's perfect. If not, it's fine. We can do a little bit of changes. Okay. At least the bottom floor we want out, right? Now that looks okay, right? That looks like there's more than just a random rock wall, right? Now, other thing I want to do is I want to put down some decorations just to make it look like there's a little bit something more. That's so small. That's actually not going to work. Okay. I'm going to put down these pillars in the middle over here on both sides. Just to have something extra. Again, I'm not going to really care about how this looks. This is just supposed to give some texture to it from a distance. Right? Just something different, something not just rock and stuff. Okay. If it is going to be a little bit out, like how some of these ones are on the bottom, we're just going to select them and drag them inward. Okay. All of these need to be moved back. Okay, like so. All right. And then once again, we need that bottom part of the cliff to make it look like it's elevated or something. Now, do I have an easy way of doing this without it looking bad? We don't have rock, right? That's my issue. We don't have rocks. I should probably put a nest somewhere as well. Yeah, no, I don't have anything that I can put here. There's nothing decorative that can put in. I can try to put another one of these. Hold on, I might have an idea. Did I pass it? I passed it, no? It's up here? I thought I passed. How about we take one of these? Rotate it. Okay. Bring it into the mountain. Okay. Bring it out a little bit so it's kind of elevated up a little. No, so we have something. And then what we can do is you can hide this bottom part. This is hard because this affects up here. Doesn't affect here though. Okay, so that hides that. I think we might be able to get away with this, but again, up here, Our issue is now it. I think this is as best as we're probably gonna get it. I think that's as best as we're gonna get it. Yeah, I think that's good. Now up here we have a little bit of space where we can make an area where they're just elevated from. Or elevated from, hanging from, sorry. Okay. From what I understand, I think this is also a waterfall, right? Only thing is I don't understand where I would put a waterfall at. So yeah, I don't know where I'd put a waterfall right here because it's like it either goes this way or it either goes this way. But the thing is, there's no waterfall in any of the clips after they show the establishing shot of the area. Okay, want to remove some of our vegetation that is just there randomly. Yeah. And then we want to add some rocks. I keep opening the wrong tool for this. Okay. Want to add some rocks. That could be like the rock that they hook onto. I'm not going to put this one here. Okay. Cool, that can be a little area. And I think that's good. I think we're done with this little area for our quetzals. Yeah. Okay, cool. Nice. Now our Titanosaur area is gonna be the easiest because it's pretty much already done. We just placed down the items. So I think honestly, let's just do it because the only thing I need to do is place down the grass for it. And we're gonna go with the very long grass. Right? Now my whole thing is, do I want to have it like this? I want to see how this looks, right? Do I want to place down this grass as this item, or do I want to place it down as the grass in this? Temperate elephant grass. Because you can actually see this one. The only thing is it doesn't conform to the grass down here. It also has some textures, like the LODs on this will probably mess this up. I don't know. You can see that it's hovering though too. So it's just like, do I want to be using this? I'm placing all of this would be crazy. It's just from a distance you can see it better, you know? I think I'm gonna say screw it. I think I'm gonna place down all of this elephant grass here. So this is gonna take me a hot minute. But I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. Okay. So now that we have the main part of this done, I am okay with this other area over here not being like textured as much. My biggest part was right here because this is an actual scene in the movie. All right, cool. Cool. Now the other thing that I'm going to need to do is I am going to have to check with our dinosaurs and see what these guys eat. So we actually have to place down their food so we know what they eat. Obviously the meat eaters eat other dinosaurs and stuff from feeders, so we're good with those. The ones that I'm worried about is Titanosaurs because they're just going to end up dying. Now, they like ground fiber and ground leaf. That doesn't seem right. I'm gonna be honest with you. That does not seem right. So ground fiber and ground leaf. Right. This might actually provide. No, it doesn't. Actually, hold on. I think I like. Let me mix this up a bit. I think I like the ground fiber being in here. Yeah, because we still have the ones that we placed. I think I like that. Ground fiber and ground leaf. Yeah, I think I like that. Let's put some palm trees. No, I didn't select palm tree. What? No, I want to place down some seed plant. Okay. Okay, now we're just trying to account for all the other dinosaurs we're going to be adding to this place as well. Okay. I'll mix it in a little bit more. I think that should be good then. All right, cool. So we have our valley for them. No, it's not a lot, but I said it was going to be the easiest section of this. This area, I'm going to put some rocks down. Don't you guys worry. I'm going to have it on random. Okay. Right. Now once we get over here, we're going to take some palm trees and we're going to apply them to this. Okay. 2 times. Okay. We want to paint the ground here. I'm trying to figure out what this is underneath this. Is that from the ground fiber? It looks like it's from the ground fiber. Okay. That's interesting. All right. And then all along here, we're going to be putting palm trees just for the riverbed. But we're also going to be putting some rocks down because a lot of our rivers have a whole bunch of rocks on it. So we're going to be placing down these palm trees, but we're going to be mixing them up with the rocks. Okay. I did notice that this was a lot rockier than other islands that the films have been taking place on. So that's something I have to actually think about as I'm making this. This right here also, gonna have to bring this in a little bit more. Yeah. Flip it down. Clean it. At least up there. Okay. Every once in a while, an ice cream truck comes by, and all of a sudden, you could just hear its music in the background. Back when I used to have to do Zoom calls, you'd hear an ice cream truck every so often, and it was so annoying. It's like so unprofessional to just hear an ice cream truck in your background. So it was just annoying to deal with. Okay, nice. Now we can add some rocks to the side of this. Right. Right here, we're going to be doing the swamp that they actually walk through. So I think up to right here, this is where these guys coming from, right? So I think rocks up to right here is okay. Right? But then we have something right here. I think we bring this mountain up closer over here to make it look like you can't actually go through this. Also, they have an archway that they look through when they come through here, so it would make kind of sense to like have them look a certain way. They can't go. Okay. So this right here is going to be like some like swampy looking area. We can actually probably do that nicely with some of these ferns. Right? And then just bring these trees up to the very edge so you can still see the river, and so it doesn't actually remove everything else. And this could be our natural blockage that they just choose not to go towards. Okay. So we want to grab our ferns again. We want to bring the intensity down. Or I guess not at all, apparently. Okay. And then we're gonna remove some of it. All right, and then we want to look for like a tree that would be good for this area, kind of like a willow. I'm gonna have to take a look at the trees. This. I selected a tree that actually looks good for it. Palms, not these. Those are huge. A couple of these won't hurt to have. Oh, these ones are kind of like the other area though that we aren't going to be doing. That the team, that the people on the boat actually witness. I know these trees aren't for this environment, but I kind of want to just make it look different than the rest of the forest. There's a lot of different looking trees all throughout the entire map. So it just looks okay. That's not gonna work. That one's not gonna work. This one will work. We don't want to go any like pine trees. Um, I think that'll work for that. Okay, and then these guys, right? These guys are gonna have a lot of rocks that they're gonna have to go through. Okay, let's switch to tropical ones now. All right. I'm pretty sure we have a big tree somewhere that we can place down. This could be where they sleep for the night or something, right? Big tree. Looking for big. May have passed it already. May have passed it. Yep. Big tree is at the top. Here we go. Big tree. It's called big tree, guys, for a reason. Big tree. Yeah. Big tree can go here. Right. We want to take our dirt. And we want to drag it out over here. Okay. Cool. Perfect. Right, so as we are following the river, this is going to be dirt, but at the very edge of that dirt, it's going to be rockish, right? And we can make this like be the area where Xavier just is pissing or something, and you know the Megalodon comes out of nowhere and just kills the raptors. So let's just place a couple more rocks. Maybe add some more trees. Let's do bushless trees. Okay, never mind, not bushless trees. Let's do open trees. Right? Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted. Okay, open trees. Okay, open trees all the way throughout here. Same thing with here. I noticed that we've been kind of dividing up things and making it look like there's pathways when realistically there shouldn't be pathways on a lot of this stuff, right? And if you go into it, right, you can see where you can go, right? So it's fine. Okay. Means there has to be power lines, not power line, the tubing that we're gonna put for our geothermal power, right? They're gonna come right here and they're gonna see the power lines, and the power lines are gonna go from here pretty much all along this mountain, right? And but they're gonna need a reason to go over here, so it's going to probably just go across and then end up being on this side of the river somehow, right? I don't know, somehow we have to figure out how to put power lines, but that's for the stream later on, right? For us to figure out later on. The only other thing that we have to do now is the area for our T-Rex encounter with the raft. Now, we have the river going this way, right? So most of it's already done. The only thing that we have to do is build the building for the raft. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of that from the movie that I have so I can reference it. Because it kind of shows all of it, right? So the way this works is going to be interesting. So they're going to be over here, I'm guessing. Meaning the raft area is going to be over here. Means the T-Rex. Okay. This is making sense to me in my mind. Okay. So we're going to remove this. Right. We're going to remove this. Okay. And we're going to remove some of this over here. Right. Taking our sand, right? This is where the kids are, right? This is where the family is, blah, 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 blah. Right? This is where the dock is going to be. With the shed and everything, right? Parasaurolophus body is going to be right here. And the T-Rex is going to be right here. It's going to go out this way to go drink water. And they're going to get in the raft right here, right? And then they're going to, obviously we know how the scene goes and they go this way, right? So that actually makes so much sense to me. The only thing is, I know this area is elevated. And I don't really want to split up this river a little bit too much because it won't. My thing here is this is going to be elevated, right? Because they're going to fall down into this area. Now, if they fall down into this area, this means this is elevated, meaning I'm going to have to cut off the river here, right? Somehow get this part of the river to go down into this part of the river. So this area up here be even more elevated than this area up here, because rivers don't go upward for no reason, right? I don't think at all they go upward. And this is where Xavier would be taking his piss at anyways, right? So he'd be taking a piss downward down the waterfall, and you know, it would be going down here. So this area would be lower than this area. This area would be higher than this area. But this area would end up being higher than this area because this area is where the river flows from this area. So overall, it doesn't make any sense. This map I made like 3 times. The first time I made it without even thinking about the movie. I was just gonna make this a random map build. Second time I remade this map is when after I saw the dam part of the leaked footage that was coming out, right? And so I'm like, okay, well, my dam isn't halfway across the map here, right? Where it was before. And then the third time I redid it is when I watched the entire movie over. Or when I watched the entire movie over. When I watched the movie for the first time when it came out. And so I couldn't really change things at that point because all of this had been done at that point. Right? All of this had been done. A lot of stuff had been done. A lot of it has been planned. So I was just like, okay, well, that's a messy situation, right? So in Evolution 3, whenever that comes out, again, I keep saying whenever that comes out. We know when it's coming out. When Evolution 3 comes out, I'll be doing this again. It won't be my first one. I'll be going in order of the Jurassic films, except for I'm going to be doing Jurassic World first. And then I'll be getting to Jurassic Park. So I'd be going like, you know, Jurassic World, and then I'd edit that one to make it look like Fallen Kingdom. And then from there, I'd be doing, what is it? Like some of these other maps that we have, right? Like we do like a Sanctuary build. We do like a Biosyn one, you know, some other things. And then we're going to get to the Rebirth one. And then we'd go back around and do the Jurassic Park one, Jurassic World, and the Jurassic Park 3 ones at a later date after. Because those ones are the ones that I actually haven't done yet on this channel. And I know people have suggested them on my channel, in my Discord. If you guys want to join the Discord, it's linked in the description. But people have suggested them. It's just, I've been putting them off, especially at this point, because it's already August. By the time I get to them, I pretty much do a build per month. Or at least 3 builds per month, 2 builds per month, you know, 2 to 3 builds per month. So it takes me 1 month to do an entire build. So at this point, it's just like I'm kind of pushing them off for Evolution 3 so I can make them look good. So that's my whole point of some of these builds, making them look kind of... Well, this one actually looks really good. I really love this one. But I can't wait to do this again in Evolution 3. That's my main point. Sorry for overextending that. That took way too long to explain. Okay. So we have a dock. Thankfully, we actually have a decent looking dock that we can use. Right? We don't have any other docks in this mod pack mods list that we have. And honestly, this one is good. The only thing I have to comment about this one is that it is kind of, it doesn't have like a flat one, right? It has handrails, and this one kind of can go off for like not a flat one, but oh, and the handrails are like a little bit too much, right? But it's fine. I'll be using this one though. All right, so we kind of laid this out already. Actually, hold on. Actually, I have an idea. What if we rotate you? Oh. That doesn't look good. That doesn't look good at all. Okay. Right, let's bring you closer to the water. All right. Cool. So that's where that's going to be. Now this building is quite simple. Again, we are going to be using our straight walls. It's been a while since we've used these, actually. Let me go up here and see the correct angle that we will be using. I believe it is this angle. Okay, cool. And somehow it closed it for me. Okay. Interesting. Right. So this building's quite simple to make. Again, there's not going to be any like coloring to it. Because I'm using these straight walls. So what I'm doing is I'm going to be placing down one, two, and then three. Right, and then so for these ones, what I'm going to be doing, these are going to be our two sides, right? It opens up like a mouth a little bit, right? Gonna be like this, right? We might wanna bring this one closer. Okay, gonna open like that. Do we want to? Go a little bit more. And then we also want to bring it down a bit because it's not this tall. It's not going to be this tall. Okay. So we have our two main things here, right? Then we want to place one. Want to place this inside of this one. And we can give it some texture, right? By making it go in a little bit. Here, let's just place it down and let's place down another one just because we're going to use another one. Right. Make it go in a little bit just to give it some texture on the outside so it's not just all flat, right? Right. Copy this, paste that one there. And then we want to take this one to the other side where we don't have the right shading so we can't really see. Okay. And then we're going to just do that a couple of times and follow the angle upward. Okay. So I'm predicting we need 4 more. Copy, paste. Copy, paste. Click on this. We drag this up. Oh, nope, mess that up. Oh, now I have to copy this one again. Paste it. Okay, click off of it, click it back. Okay, bring it up. X-axis, it is X-axis. Okay. We might actually be able to get away with this one. Let's bring this down a bit more. Then bring this in. Okay. I just realized that this is messed up. Okay. That fixes it. Nice. All right. And then what we want to do is this back part right here, we're going to hide it with bushes. So it's not going to just be like completely done. The only other thing that we have to do now is kind of make this part that goes out and like have like the floorboards, right? So we're going to want to take this piece, click rotate, and we want to rotate it until it's on the floor at like a decently even amount, right? I'm using like the line right here. Kind of judge that. Again, it probably isn't even, but I'm just going to say it is. Okay. All right. And so since this is a floor that's going to be dropped down by the whole thing, I'm going to actually be doing that piece separately. Okay. Select these two pieces, bring them back a little bit. Okay. Now I need to place down one more wall. Okay. Press R and R. A. Select this one. Paste it. A. Select it. A. Then I go and press G again. Copy this one. Paste this one there. Copy this one. Paste this one there. Make sure you save the location by just clicking off of it. Okay. And I want to select both of these since they're there already. Okay. And so since this is going to fall out, we want to make sure that this corner is kind of matched up with this corner, right? So when you think about it, it goes something like this. Right? Actually probably mimic this with it. Right? It goes something like this. Right? But the thing is, it's not going to be at this middle axis right here. It's going to be more so right here. So the way we have it now doesn't really make sense. Right? So we're just not going to save it. I was just using it as a reference. Right? And then I'm going to go back into this mode, move it on the x-axis. So where it kind of makes sense. Okay, we're gonna go back in R. We're gonna rotate it slightly. Actually, hold on. We're gonna rotate it a decent amount. I'm gonna drag this all the way over here. Okay, back in G. R. G. Okay, we're gonna bring these two sections up. Move it on the x-axis backwards. Cool. Now the next thing we have to do is our roof. Our roof is somewhat easy because we already have these two parts right here. We're gonna place down two more walls. We're gonna go into the rotation mode. Copy this one. Copy this one. Go into placement mode. That one, paste that one. Copy that one, paste that one. Okay, click on both of them. Y brings you up here. Then you want to bring that all the way up to the top right here. And then boom, we have our area for our boat. All right. Now, if we are in a situation like we are now where we don't really want to see the back part, we can easily just fix this by pretty much making these walls that are in the front. All right, go into rotation mode, copy this one, paste it, copy this one, paste it. Okay, copy, paste, copy, paste. Save the location, click on both of them, move them on the x-axis, all the way to the very end, right? And then we can press R, rotate it on the y-axis until it's kind of split in half. Okay. This now, and we want to move it on the x-axis. Okay. Rotate it down, G, axis again. Y, x-axis again, boom. Okay, and that's going to be the backside of it. Again, I said we were going to probably make this kind of hide out in the trees, so that's what we're going to end up doing. Make sure you select all the different sections that we have placed. It should be only a couple. The way that I make sure that I select all my sections is I select everything that I see, press Y. If I don't select it, I press my right click and it puts it, but I want to make sure I know where that part I didn't select is. So I select it after I put it down. So I'm like, okay, boom, that's the hip mark. I kind of explained that a little bit earlier, but it wasn't a lot. Okay. Next thing is this little shack, right? It's going to be right here. And we're going to move it back a decent amount. It's higher elevated. Right? It's higher elevated. Meaning this hill is going to be here. Okay. Which is perfect. Okay. We can remove all of the trees that we're probably going to end up seeing, the grass and all that stuff. We're going to put dirt down here. Now we don't have this dirt that we will want to be seeing. It's okay. Fine. This is where the dirt's going to be. Now we're going to have some sand on our edges. Let's actually keep it as rocks. We're going to keep it as rocks. And we're going to mix in some... do I want to mix anything in here? No, I don't want to mix anything in here. I actually like how the rocks are looking. Okay. Cool. Now our raft is going to be in here. All right, we have our raft there. And then I want to take some more tree hats and put them here. Now, when the T-Rex sees them... Actually, hold on. She's rocking across here. You can see like the whole entire valley and all that stuff, right? So we're going to assume that it's from this angle. We have some rocks right here as she's crossing. Oh yeah, this thing is very small. So if we want to hide this, we can. Again, I'm going to be using our hats to do that. If I could remember where this one hat is. Where is our... There it is. We're gonna hide this in the back here. That's okay. Okay. And then right here, we're gonna have our T-Rex hiding in the bush. Okay. Okay. So that's as simple as that's going to be. Then we're gonna take our heavy forest full. Put it all along here. Maybe put some here. And then we're gonna take some more of our long grass. Put it all right here. Okay. Take some of our dirt. Make it look like the dirt goes up to the rock. Okay, and boom, that's where our T-Rex is gonna end up being. We're gonna take some more rocks and put them down like right here or something. Because this is where our Parasaurolophus body is going to end up being. Okay. I know there's a mod for bones. I don't think I have it in this. If there is a mod for bones. Oh, wait, we have. Only thing is, oh, we're gonna have bones. We're not gonna have the actual thing, so it's fine. Okay. We're gonna rotate you just up a little bit. Right. And we're gonna have a rock. Okay. We want to take this bush that is in here. It's this one. Okay. And elevate this up just a little bit over it. This one, elevate it up. Now we want to do this side so it just doesn't look like this whole thing is floating. Okay. Boom. Nice. Looks good. Right, and I don't think we have like any sort of like raft. We have a lifeboat. I don't think we have a. So we could honestly put this boat in here. Okay. If we're gonna rotate these two planks. That'll work. And then boom. Okay, cool. Now the only thing we have left to do in this area is place down some more vegetation. Let's do open trees. Okay. And there's a lot of trees in behind this thing, so I'm gonna also put some trees there too. Okay. Sucks that we don't have like an actual dirt. Make this look so much nicer. That's kind of a mess up on my part. Sorry, guys. Okay. And then this is the river that they'll be going down. I'm going to bring some of the trees closer in. And then we're going to do like a rock formation. Probably just like right here. All right. You guys know what this is. For some reason the T-Rex didn't want to go on the other side of the rock. Probably scratch his face up a little bit too much. I don't know. Okay. Let's take out some of our vegetation in the middle river because I hate that. Okay. And we want to make this river look a little bit deeper, so I think that's dirt, right? Put rock in the center. All right, cool. We have this little area for our different things. You can see that my game is starting to lag more. That's as many decorations as I have. Wow, that's actually crazy. But yeah, okay. I might want to add some more bushes here. Maybe just some ferns. Whoa, that's a lot. Hold on. Ground cover then? Yeah, let's do ground cover. And let's put some ground cover in the water as well to make it look a little bit less bland. Yeah, I hate trees in the water, but the ground cover in the water makes it look a little bit more swampy. But yeah. All right. That looks really amazing, guys. Unfortunately, guys, that will be it for this video. It went on for a little bit longer than I thought it would. Actually, I didn't actually think it would be that long. I thought it was going to be longer. I will be having a stream on Saturday. It will be us finishing this entire thing. We'll be adding decorations. We'll be adding little pipes all along the map and all that stuff. It'll look cool. Now, hopefully it doesn't lag as much because the lag is becoming concerning for this. Whenever I look at certain objects, specifically the main facility area. But I want to do some changes. I want to make some design changes, some decorations I want to put up and all that stuff. And then on Saturday, you guys are going to give me suggestions. So if you guys want to give me suggestions, tune in for the stream. The stream will be at 9:30 a.m. And yeah, anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you guys want to join the Discord, it's absolutely free. There you guys can actually talk with the community, post your build suggestions, post your builds, and you guys get to annoy me as well, as some people are currently trying to figure out. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoy your day, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video.